They'll be calling you a radical. All activists, all hands on deck, social inequality, freaking the big freaking elephant, not the elephant, the dead blue whale in the room, the nuclear energy complex that no one will seem to talk about. We have political hyperbole going all over the place. You know, forget substance, we have pig versus pig. You're talking Bill Bubba Clinton and Donald Trump, two of the grossest, creepiest human beings who ever walked backwards on Balco. It's disgusting, but let's talk in substances. Like I was talking to a guy today, you know, Trump completely lost me when he said he would name Mike Lee to the United States Supreme Court. You know what a fraud Mike Lee is. Wrap yourself up in the flag. Yeehaw, we're going to talk a lot about, there's a lot to talk about nuclear, good, bad, ugly. So I want to tell you the story about this flag. Because Mike Lee wraps himself up in the flag, right? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. He's one of the greatest frauds, and that's saying a lot, in Utah State history in the United States. First sitting United States Senator to have his home foreclosed on. Never made a payment. Buy here, pay here. You usury. Freaking lying scum. Lied to a guy in critical condition when his father died of leukemia very young. He doesn't care. He's a scumbag. I mean, you think about that kind of an ignorant statement. It's like guys arguing with me today, and I'm like, well, name me your congressman. Ignorant, freaking selfish people will elect ignorant, selfish. You're all caught up in hyper. Look, presidents wield fucking almost no power. That's what the fairy tale you've been sold. Congress fucking wields incredible power. Incredible. You want to be mad? You think about the last 4 or 5 Congresses. The do nothing whistle stop on Balco. Do nothing, pass the do nothing, pass the do nothing. This is scumbags. Oh, everything's okay. $20 trillion fucking ruling trade. The military industrialized complex has gone completely out of control. It reminds me of the old Soviet Union. We're headed right down that path. This is a military colony for the fucking globalist oligarchs. You know, these people you talk around, everybody works for the military. Lockheed Martin, these defense guys. What do? You know, it's serfdom, it's welfare, you have to show up. What, really, they're all fairy tale. They really think there's something. They're zeros. I mean, how many people does it take to build drones to bomb babies? It's like baseball. The social inequality, and I always use the thumbprint, is baseball because it mirrors. In 1975, the average Major League Baseball player, which was the sport, made less than 3 times the average working class American. 1 in 5 working class men and women in this country don't even have a fucking job. They're just throwing them to the fucking wolves. You been in fucking Skid Row? You been in California? You seen the contemporary homeless population around this country? It's beyond insane. You know how impoverished this country is? The military beast and your fear? Do you realize this? And who would want to be president, honestly? Really? Because this house of cards is going to come a fucking apart under the next fucking president's fucking reign. Completely. This entire pyramid structure is not built on your back because they stripped the first they come for the craftsmen. I won't stop there. No. This is built on your debt. Your own personal Ponzi scheme. 70-year-olds building houses. Talking about fairy tale. Oh, when I win the lottery, Cinderella, you're going to marry a prince. King James. Major League Baseball players, 200 million, 150 million, 57 million. I mean, you think about these young guys. I mean, it's beyond grotesque, obscene. It's like politics, RD. You won't even in your local politics, you know, you don't even know who your congressman is. It's just like your sports fantasy fairy tale. Name 3 players on that team. Don't know. I'm just branded. They branded me. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Yankee fan. Go team, whatever. I'm a Dodger fan. What? What are you talking about? I mean, the game itself, the purity, they fucking totally fucking, the money is, and it's not, I mean, it's disgusting. You know, get your Bangladesh fucking gear. You realize every single thing you wear, everything you make is made by freaking slaves, completely 100% slaves. 100% slavery. All the way. I mean, it's beyond grotesque over top. So let's get to the nuclear thesis. We got good news in Germany. Really good news. This has been the big piece, because the Green Party's real over there. Lay their bodies on the tracks. I mean, they've got the repository money. They will cut a deal with the nuclear cartel. It's done. They're done. Nuclear's over in Germany. I'm here to tell you, the great fighters in Munich, you know, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Let's talk about San Onofre. So San Onofre, this is the fraud. These fake activist groups that are taking credit for the San Onofre shutdown are filing for money. Now, we love Friends for the Earth because they did do a lot of work with their attorneys, but the grassrooters who really shut this down, I mean, it's so over the top. Do I see you cutting a check to Gene Stone? Do I see you cutting a check to Ace Hoffman? Do I see you cutting a check to Donna Gilmore? Do I see you cutting a check to freaking Donnie Young? Do I see you cutting a check to Kevin Blanche? Do I see you cutting a check to the kids inside freaking were working inside San Onofre who leaked to Kevin Blanche in a bone marrow transplant center fighting for his fucking life? Both times. When they fucking overheated and blew it in fucking the fall of 2011, and when they were cheating on the exchange. I'm the guy. Do you see you cut me a fucking... No, you sent me a fucking leukemia in the mail is what I get. $1.8 million. I'll be at the Million Mass March for fucking remember the 5th of November. So I'll be there. I think I'll probably get there the 3rd, 4th. I might go to New York a little bit earlier. I don't know. I mean, working it out. You know, I've got to raise money. You know, this fight goes on. I'm not giving up. So Duke Energy, their cooling pool. Now, why do they have cooling pools? They have dams to cool. Look, all this nuclear waste has to stay cool. This is the dead. I mean, it's so over the top how these presidential politics. Do you see anybody talking about Fukushima, the Great Pacific Journey, the greatest ecological collapse? Do you see anybody talking about? Okay, so WIP. Now they're saying they're going to seal off part of WIP. What's WIP? The repository in New Mexico. One guy, me and the governor, got Energy Solutions. Those scumbags kicked out. They say they're at WIP. They say they're already bringing the MOX fuel back from Japan all over at WIP. What? WIP's closed. Where the fuck's it at? Fucking, just like I said, all hands on deck. Get ready. They're going to lie and cheat in the flooding in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Matthew flooded the fuck, breached their dam. A helicopter, a news fucking station had to call them up. Hey, I'll never forget it. This is years ago, my place, San Diego County. I'm an opening day at Del Mar. I'm standing in line. This little 3-foot freaking douchebag fucking standing there with this big, tall, sleazy looking freaking Botox freaking fake female like they've turned out involved. The organic, beautiful San Diego girl like Raquel Welch. You know, there's very few of those left. Yeah, she's from La Jolla. You know, so my mom. All these beautiful, sophisticated, classy, amazing women. You know, they're still out there. Of course, the man, what a thumbprint. Trump, Bubba. I says, what do you do? Oh, I run Palo Verde. What? Look, the money that is just thrown at the serfdom is just tossed out there. These people don't work. In the nuclear energy, because you just feed them, Price Anderson, government subsidies from the local basis. So I want to tell you this story about this flag. They wrap themselves up in the flag. You can talk, and I did my PhD. You know, people have no clue who their congressman is. No clue. They're all caught up, which means nothing. Presidential politics mean they wield very little power. Very, very little power. Congress wields power. You don't even know. R.D. branded. They're going to take our guns when this president sold more guns than any president. Oh, we got to get our gold rocks out of the Queen's fucking hole. You've been had, the military-industrial complex. You know, what's a tariff? I'm Hamilton. I can sing and dance. I'm a fisherman. All the salmon have collapsed. What happened 5 years ago? The greatest year-over-year of collapse in Oregon on the Pacific Ocean. I'm a fisherman. What's a boat? I'm a baker. What's a cake? I'm a butcher. What's a cow? You know, I'm an environmentalist. I'm green. I'm going to go get arrested on the pipeline. Whatever. What's Fukushima? You know, I know Amy, by the way. Wow. She's so circled up in her dogma. It's in her Helen Caldecott. What frauds? And I want to say this to all the armchair activists and all the frauds. What Fukushima exposed? What it exposed, what a fraud the so-called anti-nuclear energy freaking establishment is. It's a total fraud. Helen Caldecott's a fraud. Busby's a fraud. Gunderson's a fucking fraud. All of them are fraud. Greenpeace, total fraud. Sierra Club, total frauds. They're frauds. When it's a grassroots freaking activists that do all the fucking dirty fucking work, they're ineffective. They're totally ineffective. Oh, my activism out in the street, I'm no YouTuber. You know, I'm an activist. And behind the scenes, the people I deal with, Tom from Edison, he'll tell you right there. Go talk to Tom. As we are setting the playbook of San Onofre. They say it. They say it. What happens in San Onofre is such a major, major deal. We're going to show the world how to decommission all of it because they're all going down before Kevin reached into the bag. So this flag, our elementary school, they tore down. A Leslie Hodson used Frank Lloyd Wright's, the only prairie-style Frank Lloyd Wright freaking elementary school still standing in the fucking country. My grandson goes to the only other one that is. It's not a Frank Lloyd Wright, Leslie Hodson. They tear it down while I'm sick. You know, illegally tear it down. So they're all wrapped up in their flag here. Johnny, I mean, flag wavers. This flag flew at that school for years and years. So they have a thing to go through the school after everybody's picked through. I always wait and I go last. On the gym floor in there, laying on the floor, thousands of people have walked over, these flag waving, gun toting, Kool-Aid drinking, fucking ignorant fucking sheep morons. Fucking give themselves cancer. There it is laying on the floor. I pick it up. We didn't do that. Go ahead, we don't give a fuck, take it. Okay. Yeehaw! So I want to say this, and this is important. To Kaepernick and to all you billionaires. It's real easy for you fuckers to take a fucking knee. Real easy to turn this into a cliche. When we are out in the street, the Million Mass fucking March, our fucking pure fucking grassroots activists fighting our fucking asses off. A lot of us full of cancer, a lot of us fucking marginalized, fucking craftsmen stripped out. It's real easy for you with a billionaire and millionaire. You got all that fucking money. You got millions and millions and millions. Yeah, I mean, I find it very cliche. I find it, you want to compare yourself to, fuck, Malcolm X gave his fucking life. It's disgusting. Why don't you come fucking join us in the streets? You know? Why don't you fucking at least fund us? Huh? Huh? Who are you? You're gonna take a knee and try to steal all our fucking... I mean, I find it very trite. I find it very fucking cliche. I find it almost fucking... I don't know. Counterproductive? Kind of like the anti-nuclear fucking establishment. Look, what a failure was it from '82 to present? I mean, I think everybody in the so-called establishment, anti-nuclear movement, anti-social equality movement, everything should fucking be very fucking disappointed with themselves. Disgusted. Because you're all doing it, you're still competing. You think this is about fucking money. It's not about fucking money. It's about fame. You're going to be the next Helen Caldicott's. Helen Caldicott's a total fucking 100% fraud. Gunderson's a fraud. Busby's a fucking fraud. Greenpeace is a fraud. Fucking Sierra Club are frauds. This is total all fucking fraud. The alternative media is a total fraud. Fucking Alex Jones and Cenk fucking fighting. They're still trying to tell us that that was snow they were pushing off the Reagan. That was foam, you dumb fuck. Fucking Wasserman tried to tell me the other day that was fucking snow. I says, you need to sit down and fucking retire. You fucking armchair activists, I'm fucking had a gutful. You know, I really... out in the fucking street. This fucking activists that do, oh, we're effective. The things that I've accomplished in my fucking activism career, oh boy. You know, and I'm going to take on the social inequality. There's only one answer to social inequality. What's a tariff, Alexander Hamilton? I can sing and fucking dance. These are big fucking times we live in. These are epic, incredible fucking times we live in. Unseen. And this house of cards is going to come apart. Oh, you're still waiting for the stock market crash. They got that so fucking, it ain't going to crash. Your life's going to crash. The ecology crashed. While you're waiting for the stock market and I'm written into the studio wall, God's fucking will, the ecology, you're going to get fucking cancer. You know, the greatest event in human history, the Great Pacific Genocide, foreseen, told by fucking Kevin Blanch. You know, you flag wavers, dogma, burger, presidential politics means jack. Means shit. They will very, very little. Congress, now they will power. You don't even know who your congressman is. You, I mean, have no clue. You know, they're very available. Now you think about this. There's 350 million people in this country on any given day. 50 million in California. Who documents the dead tide pools? I mean, have you seen anybody ask? Oh, I've asked Trump. I've asked freaking Bernie. And I want to say this, Trump is pro-nuclear energy. So is Hillary. They're pro-nuclear energy because that's where all the fucking money is and that's where all the power lives. And they want to be on the winning fucking team. They are the fucking team. It's disgusting. You know, the greatest fucking loot, fucking shakedown, increasing nominal wages from 1945 decreasing nominal wages from 1979 to present. The greatest social inequality sucked up to the fucking very tip of the, it's like the Rams. Oh, we're going to build this new stadium, fucking tear down Hollywood Park. We're going to build this fucking stadium. Do you know who the Rams are? Yeah, they're the Walmart Rams. Go Walmart Rams. Fuck you and your Bangladesh fucking made gear. And all you major league players and your billions and your Kaepernick or knee fucking players and your multi-millionaires. You know, I support you, but why don't you support us? You know? We're the ones doing the fucking work and always have been. Always fucking have been. You know, stay tuned on this fucking fight. You know, stay in this fucking fight. This is big fucking times we live in. Flip this fucking pyramid. You know, it's gonna fucking flip. This house of cards is built on your military industrialized fucking death structure is going to come apart. It's gonna come apart in a very fucking epic way. Hoo-hoo, your gold bars ain't gonna save you, and Johnny got his gun ain't gonna save you. None of that's going to fucking save you. You're going to hunker down in your fucking bunker. Ain't going to save you. You know, you can't even get fucking involved in your local politics. Oh, I do. Fuck Mike Lee knows me personally. He lies to me constantly. You know, he didn't even know what Fukushima was. You know, I mean, multiple fucking politicians all over California, they know me personally. Because I go right up to them and I talk to them and I have conversations with them. I educate them because they're ignorant. Selfish, ignorant fucking people will elect selfish, ignorant fucking leaders. George Carlin on Balco. This is a grotesque fucking populace that has lost their humanity. Really, we used to be able to live abstractly. As the artisan, you could live abstractly, but not now. Fukushima took care of that, right? You know, you can go in denial all the fuck you want. But, you know, this pyramid has got to fucking flip. And our small fucking teeny group, we're going to fucking flip it. Watch us. It's like we got San Larpe shut down. You can grandstand and steal our thunder and take all our fucking money when we know in the reality Those fucking kids in Sight St. Arbor were looking at the fucking me. I was looking at the fucking meeting, a bone marrow transplant. People were Googling going, oh, just like Blue Castle. One guy put the dagger to Blue Castle here. One guy. Ask the owners of it. They'll fucking tell you. One guy got energy stricken out of Utah. One fucking guy. Ask the governor. Oh, he'll tell you. You know. Or Kevin reached into his bag and he slung the fucking stone. And he struck this nuclear radiated beast in the forehead and it fell to the earth. Thank you in Germany. Fight on. Thank you in Vienna, Austria. Thank you, fight on. Thank you in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'll be there soon. The greatest fucking, because they're so hardcore anti-nuclear. Oh, they win. We're effective activists. We win. That's the name of this game. You know, your fucking hyperbole bullshit, collect your money and your fame and your fucking, I'm going to be the next, fuck you. You know, fuck your armchair bullshit. I really don't give a fuck. You know, out in the street, that's what we need. Stay tuned.